at the water. Ooh, ooh, it's raining down. Ooh, ooh. Hey everybody, welcome back to Party and the Frog. I'm wearing my Keep Calm and Demand Combat by Trial shirt because I had an incident on the way to a gig last night. I think you probably saw it on Facebook, perhaps. My back window was shot out. And it was pretty startling, I have to say. Although not as scary as it might sound because I didn't know that it was shot. I'm just driving around, maybe even putting on my mascara at the time. And all of a sudden I heard a pop and then I heard a shatter. And I honestly thought someone hit me or I hit, some deer ran into me or something because it was my back window. And I turned to look and the other car was looking at my car, but there was no reason for me to suspect that car. So I pulled over in the turning lane and I called the police because I didn't know what to do or why it happened. And then a big truck pulled up and said, "Hey, did you just get your window shot out?" And I said, I guess that's what happened because I didn't know. And he said, "Look at my window." And so he had his window shot out. The cops got there pretty quick, and then I found out that another person also had their window shot out. And so apparently there was a house. This was right on Sandy Plains and Davis and East Cobb, and apparently there was a house. The guy with the truck saw that there was a window open and he thought he saw a gun. He's also a former Marine, so I don't doubt that he saw what he said he saw. Anyway, we went to the house, myself, the gentleman, and the police officer, and the person would not come out of the house. And I said, "Well, that's a shame. The kid needs to learn a lesson." The police officer said, "There's no kids that live at this home. We have been here before many times." So I don't know what happened. There's a report filed, and hopefully I'll get my window money back. I still have to do that. I'm driving around with trash bags, which is actually probably more frightening than the incident because they make so much damn noise. Anyway, so I thought the word that I would give you, or the theme for this podcast, for many reasons, but starting with this incident, is grateful.
Grateful.
Because I am grateful that it was just, possibly a BB gun. Plus, I haven't looked in my car yet to find the bullet. And it could have been way worse. I could have had someone in the back, a dog, a kid. It could have hit a front window, could have made me crash, so many things. And it's funny, I wasn't really thinking about it. It happened and I was like, oh my gosh, now I'm late for my gig. What do I do? And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do. It's Saturday night. I'm just going to go because I need the money and I am committed to go, and there you go. So I went to the gig and everyone was really nice about it, and it was a good story. And one of my former students works there, and he said, "You always have the best stories." "You can tell your class on Monday." I said, "Yeah, I'm going to tell my class on Monday." So, it became a fun thing, and some people eating dinner overheard, and they said, "Oh, we're so sorry you had the worst day." And I thought, kind of like that choosing to go to work versus go home and just be kind of sorry and frustrated. It was like, I said, no, I think maybe it was the best day because I'm still here, and so I'm grateful. I'm here. I'm grateful for all of you out there watching the podcast. I was grateful to have the gig. I was grateful for the people around me and the people in my life. And so I think being grateful is a choice we can make when things aren't really going our way. And so that is my theme this week. So anyway, it's a choice. And I think the motivation I have for you today is kind of a choice too, and that you're going to choose to just move forward with what you want to do. And it's about Iron Maiden, so it's pretty good. Check it out.
Kathy once went up to the manager of Iron Maiden and said, you know, I really admire the work you're doing in the music business. And he said, the music business? I'm not in the music business. I'm in the Iron fucking Maiden business. And this is actually a brilliant way of expressing it. You do what you do for the people that you do it for. Kevin Kelly talks about 1,000 true fans. Those are the people that you're in business for, and of course for your own artistic satisfaction and fulfillment. But you're not in the business as a whole, right? The business as a whole doesn't exist. The industry is not a real thing. It's just a label we've slapped on a group of independent individuals. And you got to see it that way. The lead singer of Iron Maiden has talked about this too. Bruce Dickinson, he said, we've got our field and it makes no difference to us what neighboring farmers are doing because you can only plow one field at a time. And that was such an important, huge breakthrough for me in how I think about my career, about how I think about what I do and how I live my life.
So today, the interesting fact that I have for you is about bees, because our guest, Katie Martin, does a lot with bees. As some of you know, because you follow her on socials. But she has, you know, decked on the bee suit and lets the bees climb all over her. And the really cool thing she does is capture their sound and their energy. And so I'm sure we'll talk about that today too. So here's some bee information.
Interesting facts.
From pollinating plants to making honey, bees do so much for our planet. Here are our top facts about bees. Fact number 1. Bees can live in a huge array of habitats, from marshes, sand dunes and soft cliffs to heathlands, wetlands and chalk grasslands. Fact 2. The bee's buzz is a sound made by their wings, which beat 11,400 times per minute. Fact number 3. Bees actually have 4 wings, 2 wings either side of their body, which hook together to form a pair when flying and then unhook when they're still. Fact number 4. If the queen bee dies, the worker bees can create a new queen bee by selecting a young larva and feeding it special food called royal jelly, which allows it to become a fertile queen.
Interesting facts.
Now, I don't yet have the Frog Tunes section of this podcast up and running, but my goal, and I think would be just really fun, would be to bring the musicians in here and jam a bit and then let you be the fly on the wall. I think if you've been watching, you'll know I've had a ladybug in here a couple times, and so the idea kind of stemmed from that. Frog Tunes will be part of my Patreon that's kind of just getting started. You can go there and subscribe. There's always going to be a free version where you can just log in and check out what's going on. Of course, if you want to subscribe, the support's always appreciated, but it's not necessary for most of the things that are on there. And then this sample that I have for you is not really what I'm picturing for Frog Tunes, but just it's a quick little harmonizing Katie and I did when we were preparing for my Music Speaks night on Tuesdays at the Wing Cafe. If you're interested in playing, don't forget to contact me. You can message me through Facebook or another way, or just shout me out when you see me in person. But anyway, we were preparing to hopefully do a song that we didn't end up doing. But we did. Honestly, I have to say, I was surprised Leanne did not know Wagon Wheel. So anyway, Katie and I do. And so here's a quick little snippet of her and I trying to practice some harmonies on that. Rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a sound train. Hey, hey, mama, rock me. Anyway, the idea is to bring my guests back, the ones that I've had on the episode, and perform with them here in the Frog. That's why I got this new table, because it leaves room for instruments. And I put some drums in here, and so we'll hopefully get that going soon.
Subscribe to Fly on the Wall, the jam sessions. For details, visit patreon.com/Jeannie Caryn, Belly of the Frog, Frog Tunes, a sister podcast featuring live music streaming. For details, visit patreon.com/Jeannie Caryn, Frog Tunes.
So today I'm really excited to have with me one of my fellow Georgia Succulents. In case you didn't know, the Georgia Succulents are myself, our good friend and sister Leanne Hutchison, and of course Katie Martin. And Katie Martin is with us today. We've done, I can't say we've done shows, we've done some sets, let's call them sets, performances at a few singer-songwriter nights. We really would love to do a bigger show with the three of us working together, sharing our songs. It just hasn't happened, you know, not yet. But we did start the Georgia Succulents back in, gosh, I think it was 2018, where we were just three friends who, you know, there's not a lot of us girls in the gigging industry, and wanted to kind of share our experiences and help each other and support each other. And we've just become like totally inseparable. We just have a great time together no matter what we do. We try to have meetings monthly, but you know, it doesn't always work out, especially lately. Leanne has a great new job and Katie's on the road a lot, so but we'll get back to it. We will. But there are some clips on YouTube, so I might drop that in here for you to see just a quick snippet of the Georgia Succulents.
Are we good? Sorry. Bossy bridges over here. 1, 2, 3.
Go to sleep, you little baby. Go to sleep, you little baby. Your mama's gone away and your daddy's gonna stay. Didn't leave nobody but the baby. Go to sleep, you little baby. Go to sleep, you little baby. Everybody's gone in the cotton and the corn. Didn't leave nobody but the baby. You're gonna love watching this episode. I think Katie and I laughed more than we talked, or we laughed, or some combination of that. So anyway, with no further ado, here's Katie Martin.
You know what I like doing this kind of filming? Because this is how I do my live streams, is with my phone like that.
Yeah.
It actually, because I can see what I look like, I just look at myself and I talk to myself the whole time. Like if I'm doing a show in like real life, my eyes are always closed.
Oh, yeah.
But when I do live streams, because I'm looking at myself and I can smile at myself and I go... And I was like, man, I feel really like narcissistic that somehow this works.
You do a good job when you did it. I was like, your coffee.
I can do this.
You do a good job. You're like, hey y'all, you've got to make that a thing.
I need to do that a thing. I'm not even kidding you. I was sending it to someone else too, because I was like, oh, they'll appreciate this. Yeah. And they said the same thing as you last night with that one. They're like, this needs.
But I did come downstairs and I saw my dad. He's put on his shoes. So I was like, what you doing? Because apparently that's what I ask like 10 times a day. What you doing? Where you going? Not that he owes me any explanation, but he was like, eye sticking. And I was like, eye sticking. And he goes, yeah. I was like, oh, you come to get your shot? He gets his shot like in his eye. I thought he was saying ice skating. And I was like, ice skating? Like, where are you gonna find the ice? But no, he's gonna get his eye shot. But I actually so I'd started talking to my mom. She was down there, so I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. He was getting away with some stuff, you know. But I could hear this noise happening in the kitchen afterwards, and I'd seen him walk past with something. So I was like, once again, you know, for like the 10th time, I asked this like a million times a day. I'm like, Dad, what you doing? What are you doing in there? And he's like, I'm refilling the soap bottles. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like 2 seconds later, like all I hear is water. And like I'm thinking back to it, and it's like my mom has this one soap that's in her bathroom that is like a nice soap, not like fancy, but like a nice soap. My aunt got it for her. It's like vanilla, and it's that like spray, the foamy spray type soap. Hey, it's the foamy spray type soap. And I was like, wait a second. But you know, like that stuff's really clear, right? It's great, great. It's really clear, so it looks kind of like water. And so when I'm hearing him with this water, I'm like, are you filling it up with water? Have you been, because I've seen him do this before. I've seen him refill the other like soap bottles up with water, like when there's like this much dish soap, and I've always been like, this is what's happening with the soap. This is why it's like, you know,
it's a thing. It's going to be big. In fact, it'll be one of our questions.
But you know, I tried to do it this morning, and like,
well, you're thinking about it too
now
much
that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I wasn't thinking before.
That's okay.
So it's like, I'm gonna have to let it just be a natural
and not
thing.
everyone that you record has to work, but like the one you did today, I felt like it was two different ones. You could have stopped it after eye stick and, oh, he's got to go to his appointment. Done.
Yeah,
you know,
that was
like, that's it.
10-second
And then
one.
the next one is, you know, I asked him what he's doing, he's filling this. So people, a lot of people hate that. You saw Leanne's reaction to that. And I'm
well,
guilty.
That's why I was like,
I'm so guilty of that because, oops, let me turn my battery off. Oh, God, I didn't charge my phone. It's okay. But I'm guilty of that because I hate wasting the little bit that gets stuck at the bottom of the soap.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so this part of the podcast is something we call, well, I won't want to say that yet because it's one of the questions, so I'll wait to tell you what it's called. But
It's
first,
a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first thing we have to do is, who is Katie Martin? What?
Who is Katie Martin?
What do you want, if you had to identify yourself, or if we were looking for you and you were lost, we said, you have to find Katie Martin. What would we say?
What would we say?
How do we describe
Where's
Katie
Katie?
Martin? Where's Katie?
I'm thinking about where's Walter. I'm like, well, I might have a hat on, but if I'm in the wild, I won't have the hat on, so I won't help
true.
you.
You do spend a lot of time in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe start looking there, places without phone service.
All right, yeah. Where we often, Leanne and I often worry.
Yeah.
We're texting each other, have you heard from Katie? No.
Mm-hmm. And I'll probably just be sitting.
Yeah.
Just sitting somewhere.
Yeah. It's not until the lightning bolts are coming down that we really worry.
Yes. That's when I worry, too.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, but what's your resume? Like, what's your...
Resume, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's all over the place.
I know.
It's all over the place. So I do the singer-songwriter thing. I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that. I do loop pedals, which is where I record myself and build layers on the songs and kind of remix the songs live, basically. And then that's like its own thing there. Mm-hmm.
I see you in the morning when the sun breaks in the sky. Oh, I see you every time I close my eyes.
And then recently I've started doing stuff with the crystal singing bowl, so like sound healing, working with different frequencies. All that kind of, which is blending into this whole other world of stuff that I don't even know where it's going yet, but you can hook electrodes up to plants, and you can I have the little device that does it, and it sends a MIDI signal, and then you can let that MIDI signal control anything. But so somehow I feel like I'm going to be doing something soon that's going to be a mixture of figuring out getting signals from plants as well as using the bowls I did this other thing with bees. And so bees talk at a certain frequency.
Yeah.
They don't have ears, but frequencies is how they communicate with each other. And we did this experiment with like the singing bowls and finding which frequencies made the bees react to it. It's happening. So I was talking with someone the other day, and they're talking about, plants send out frequencies, and they send a different frequency when they want the bee to pollinate, and then they change the frequency while the bee is pollinating so that other bees know not to come to that spot right there.
That's so cool.
So now I'm like, well, this is a whole nother world.
Yeah,
So if I have the plants hooked up to something, and the bulls, and, I don't know what I'm doing with it, but something's going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know what that's called. So that's what I also do. Like,
you find sounds.
Yeah, I find sounds.
Sound seeker.
And I just, a sound seeker.
You're a sound seeker.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to tell people from now on.
I am a sound seeker.
I am a sound seeker.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. All right.
The seeker of frequencies.
Seeker of frequencies. And do you have any new music out right now?
Well, I'm always working on some things, and that's kind of going in a couple different directions too.
Okay.
Because I need to put out some stuff that is just kind of acoustic based. I have a bunch of songs that got put on the back burner for a while, and I need to do something with them.
Yeah.
That'll be more like an acousticy, rootsy type sounding thing. And then, like I've done, you work with Larry too.
Yes. Larry Mitchell.
With Larry Mitchell.
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry. Yeah. And I've done 3 albums with him so far. The first one was Purpose. Then I did Hope and Faith. And so I think the follow-up one, the next one, is going to be Love.
Oh, nice.
That's
nice.
But I don't know how long it'll take me to write all the things. So I have a handful of songs that are written for that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of also going off in a lot of different directions right now.
Right.
So it might take me a while before I understand what that's going to look like and it's finalized for.
Yeah. Right. But where can people find Katie Martin music right now? You
can find it on Bandcamp. Katie... might be bandcamp.com/Katie Martin Music.
Yeah, that's how they do
I think
it.
that, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's also on like Spotify. All the albums I've done with Larry are out on like all major platforms, and then Bandcamp has some things that I haven't released yet fully.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
And
KatieMartinMusic.com. That might help.
That's the
yeah.
Do you have a store now for your merch, or are you still working on that?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
I keep getting things up, and then issues arise each time, and so I keep having to take it back down.
Right.
While I'm figuring that out.
Because you have some really cool merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Everything. Talk about your art, because that's a big part of what you do. It's not just that you record music; you create the art for it.
Yeah. So I do. I do these art booklets that go with the CDs. That it's like it has artwork. It has the lyrics. It kind of it changes over time, just like as we are as people, like we grow over time. The art has kind of grown over the years.
The trees at great heights when the words in her head don't match the words in her soul. So put her heart on her sleeve and just let it go.
And so there's different ones that kind of go with each one. So right now there's booklets that go with the hope and the faith and the purpose. Each have their own like little art booklet lyric thing. And I've been working on having that also on a digital platform so that you can go and experience it like if you were on a website or something, a digital version of it.
So you could order a print or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That will happen eventually.
That will
too.
be soon. Gina and I are going to talk about that. So.
We're
not right during now, but
I'm trying to make a coloring book.
That's right. She's doing
now.
a coloring book. Yeah.
My head's all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's like there's always like 100 different projects, and whichever one ends up getting finished, it's like, who knows?
Right.
It's always up in the air, and then something, we were talking about this earlier, it's like something hits you and you're like, oh, and then you do it and you finish that one.
Right.
But you have to have 100 things happening.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of it's learning too, because you're
Yep.
teaching yourself stuff all the time. So that's a big part. And I know that you had a guitar that you were using that had come from Larry.
Yes.
But now you have a new guitar.
I have a new guitar.
So is that your now favorite guitar ever?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
I can.
Okay.
Okay. So, all these things, you know all the things I'm going to get excited about.
I know.
The guitar.
I know you.
So the guitar I got is the one I borrowed from Larry was a carbon fiber guitar. So carbon fiber is so it's lighter. It's lighter than like a regular acoustic guitar, and it's like semi-indestructible, which is great when you're on the road because you don't have to worry about the heat or the cold warping it and like making it out of tune and all that kind of stuff. And so the one that I have now is a carbon fiber, and it's an electric acoustic hybrid. So it's got acoustic pickups, it's got piezo's in it, and it's also got humbuckers, electric pickups. And so you can switch between whether you are having it using the acoustic pickups or using the electric. And for me, I actually use a blend of both so that I can still do like drum beats on the guitar. You still get that kind of acoustic sound, but it's also, I can use that little bit of electric sound, and it works really well if I'm running it through a pedal board with a lot of effects. The electric guitars really pick up the effects a lot better.
That's awesome.
So,
all right, so now you have a
helps
choice.
with feedback too.
You have a choice. Do you want to talk about
Okay.
your looping or your travels? Because you are
Ooh.
a traveler.
Either.
All right.
Whatever you feel like talking about.
Start with your looping,
Okay.
because that's led you to a lot of traveling.
Yeah, they kind of go
They
hand
do.
in hand.
They do. Yeah.
So, which part of the looping?
Well, like,
would you
talk
like
about
to
the
know
type
about?
of looping table that you use, or the.
Okay.
How'd you start with looping? Like, you can even share, like, if someone's interested in looping, how did you start? Because you're
Okay.
so phenomenally. If you've not seen her, you will, because I'll show a clip. Probably right now, because it's a good time to show a clip, and then we'll come back. But because of editing, right?
Or is it you got to clap? So
Yeah.
we'll know like where to start.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
So that's looping.
That's looping.
So, okay, so I got started with it, like when I first started playing. Someone came out to an open mic that I was at, and they just gave me a loop pedal. Like, they gave me a Digitech Jam Band, I think is what it was. And, so I started playing around with that, and it worked. It was really good for me because, especially the way I used to play, I was not playing in ways that was very conducive to playing in groups or with other people, and I didn't know how to explain what I was doing because I was self-taught, and I didn't know what any of the chords were, and I didn't,
Yeah.
And so looping was a way that I could expand my songs without being limited to finding someone at the time that was able to play along with what I was doing.
Nice.
But what it has turned into over the years is it's taught me better ways to be able to play with other people, because you start learning, as you learn more about song structure, it really makes you think about song structure as you're setting up all the different parts.
Yeah.
So like when I started, I had a looper that was just, you have one track basically, and you can build on that one track, and you can take away one thing that you built onto it, but those are your limitations, and you can create however you want to within that box of limitations. But that's the parameters, basically.
Right.
Then I started going to these loop pedal festivals. And, like, I had a lot of fun. You can do a lot with the simple loopers. Just saying. You don't have to get the big fancy ones. If you're starting out, you can get, like, $100 less looper. You can do some crazy stuff. But I started doing these festivals, and I started seeing what people were doing when they had ones with, like, 2 tracks that you can work on. So then you can put like your drums on one track, you can put your guitar on another track, you can cut your drums in and out, you can cut the guitar in, you got a lot more options there, right? Well then, now I've got like this new, they got the RC505. I don't have the newest version, they just put out a new one. But it's on a tabletop, and a lot of beatboxers use them, and they're becoming a lot more popular now, but it's got 5. So it has 5 different tracks that you can put things. So you can have guitar on one, you can have like bass on something, you can put, I do like vocal harmonies on things. You can also remix, because there's faders on every single one, so you can like bring parts in and out volume wise. You can put crazy effects on it.
And this is all during the duration of a song.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen, she's a wizard. She's just like,
you're basically remixing on the spot.
Yeah.
Because like you can change the speed. You can put it in reverse. You can do some crazy stuff.
Neat.
There's some really crazy options. Yeah. Like I do some crazy stuff with it, but I'm like touching the tip of the iceberg compared to people that have like really deep dived into like the computer aspect of it.
Right.
There's even crazier stuff you can do.
Now, I know people have asked you if you teach it.
I will, like, if someone comes and asks me questions, I will. And I have actually given a couple people, like, virtual lessons. And then Leanne was talking to me about making a course.
Yeah.
She wants me to make, like, a virtual course.
Yeah.
So I might do that at some point.
We'll put that on your list of things to do.
Yeah, on my list. That's on my list.
Because I know a lot of people out there would be willing, I mean, myself included, would love a virtual course from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's probably stuff out there, but from you, it'd be spectacular.
Yeah. So I need to do it. Right now, the easiest thing for me is if someone comes to me and they have a specific question, I'm pretty good at being like, oh, I'll help you figure this out, even if I don't know it. Where my problem is figuring out what I would need to do to make the course. Like,
I have some ideas because
I
have a platform that I think would work.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
That's 2 things. That's off-camera conversations.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. All right, my next question for you. All right, so we've been talking about this new possible potential thing, conversations with my southern dad, that might take off.
It might. we'll see, yeah.
So we might possibly drop a clip in right here. Ready to clap again?
Oh, okay.
Okay, ready? Clap.
What's up? Good morning, y'all. Don't mind my just woke up face. So, I just had this conversation with my dad, and it was like a little southern gem that y'all might appreciate. So I came downstairs and I was like, what you doing, because he put his shoes on. I was like, where are you going? He's like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go walk around the hog pond. I was like, okay, It's where there used to be a hog pond. I guess there's still a pond there, but whatever. They used to keep the hogs out there back in the day, somewhere with the vet school. I don't know where it's at. But I used to go walk it too. It's just a trail. It's probably like by the med school now or something. But anyway, so he's like, I'm going to the hog pond. I was like, okay, cool. He comes out here. He's like, okay, I'm about to head to the hog pond. You want anything? And I was like, from the hog pond? What can I get at the hog pond, you know? And he goes, I can get you like some cattails or like cypress knobs, cypress knee knobs. And I was like, I mean, I guess I'll take a cypress knee knob, you know, but like only if it's not connected anymore. I don't cut it off the tree. So I'm waiting to see if my dad comes back and brings me a cypress knee knob from the hog pond. Okay, sweet. I hope y'all are having a good day. I'm gonna take a picture in case you don't know what a cypress knee knob is. I'll take a picture of the one we got here already. But I don't know where he got it from actually, but it's in one of his plants. So apparently you can take cypress knee knobs from things and just replant it, and the tree doesn't come, and it's just, I'll take a picture. I'll send you a picture of what it is.
The knobby, cone-shaped humps rising from around the base of the cypress tree are called knees. They help with aeration of the roots and stabilization of the tree.
You want to talk about your dad-in-law?
So we'll see what happens. This was just completely random. I sent her and Leanne, we were in like a little group chat. I sent them this message earlier this week because my dad said something to me. He just says things that are really funny. Sometimes they're just like little side things, and I don't ever really think about it. But at the time I was like, oh, I bet they would get a kick out of this, because if you're not Southern, you might not know what like some of these words are, and then it makes sense later if you know what they are afterwards. Mm-hmm. And so I sent it to them, and then they loved it so much I made another one the next day,
which was even better than the first one.
So we'll see. We might do it.
We might do it. See,
my dad just passes on these little nuggets of wisdom sometimes.
That's right. With a very kind of, it seems like a stoic style. Like,
stoic.
As if he's not sure that he's given wisdom, but he is.
Yeah, it's not on purpose. That's what makes it so genuine. Right. He says something and then it's like, wait a second. What? And he kind of laughs and then walks off.
And then you think about it, like, yeah, that's true, though. That's true. That's really true. All right, what's something we don't know about you?
Oh, I don't know.
I know. I mean, it's hard because I know you. But they don't know a lot. Like, that you would be willing to share. Like,
that's what I'm like. I don't know.
I know.
That's a hard one to
like,
do.
you can think about your favorite food. I mean, something generic like that if you want to, because it's on the spot question. Or maybe that you've, written poetry, or that you talk about GERT, like something about GERT that you, like when you got GERT, something we don't, like the average person wouldn't know.
Average person
Like, first of all, GERT should be talked about.
I have a dog. Her name's GERT. She's awesome. She is. She used to get to go with me to lots of things back in the day. I used to run this jam at Darwin's, and so for like the first half of her life, she used to go to Darwin's with me every weekend and take people's tater tots and steal food, and she's living the life of leisure though these days.
Yeah,
she's getting on up there. She's about 12 and a half, I think. So she's enjoying long naps on the couch, regular food schedules, regular bone treat times. Yeah,
being spoiled. All right, let's clap because I'll put in a picture. Okay. GERT. Ready?
Oh, that's terrible. Sorry. We're musicians.
Wait. Alright, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
This is why I have to have a loop pedal.
Oh, okay.
So I can go whatever time I want to go.
Maybe I should put one in the frog.
Yeah, a loop
pedal on the frog. Yeah. But something. So, when did you get GERT? People probably don't know your story of getting GERT.
Oh, okay. So I got GERT So we're going back 12 years now, and I had gone out to my aunt's. My aunt has, it's a farm, but it's not like a farm, like a private farm. Like there's a donkey, there's a couple goats, there's some chickens, there used to be some geese, there's a lot of dogs, there's some cats, that kind of stuff. There's a cow now.
Oh, there is?
There's a cow. So,
what's the cow's name?
Let me come back to that, because
right.
I'm blanking, and I know it, but I'm blanking right this second.
It's just the door, it's okay.
And, I've only met the cow twice.
All right.
In my defense, but I really should know the name. But, so I'd gone out there to, help her. She wanted to redo, like, the floors in her house. And I was in a period of time in my life without a lot of work and some other things. And so I went out there and I was like, she's like, can you do this? And, do you know how to retile the floor? And I was like, yeah, I'll learn, and I went to this, like, an open mic that was, like, the week before I went there. It used to be Hottie Hogs.
Oh, I remember Hottie Hogs. Yeah.
It had several names since then, but at the time it was Hottie Hogs, and they had this open mic competition, and if you won it, you got $100. So I would go every week, so I could see if I could win $100, and that would be my income for, like, the week. So anyways, I met a guy that was, like, he had his whole face painted, now that I'm looking back. So I wouldn't know who he was if I ever saw him in person.
Wow. Yeah.
Because every time I met him, he had complete face
paint. Or tattoo?
Paint. It was painted. Kind of like you would do a mime or something.
Interesting.
Or kiss
or
something.
Thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
That's a really random memory that I'm having right now. And I'm not remembering much more except that I would not know him if I met him these days. But he knew how to do it, and I met him that night, and I was like, I gotta put in a floor. And so I remember this guy teaching me, like, at the thing. Wow. He was like, oh, this is what you do. And so, yeah, I went to her house to put in a floor, and I did part of it. I didn't finish, so don't hire me. Do not hire me for this job. I don't know.
Is that same floor still there?
Yeah, the part I did.
Nice.
And it's underneath some things, but it's there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I didn't finish it. I don't know if it ever got finished.
Yeah.
And I don't think I got paid though either. So like,
it's a fair deal.
I guess everything worked out okay. I did get all the carpet up. Okay. I got all the carpet
That's
up.
a tough job.
It was hard.
That's a tough job.
Yeah, it was a lot more work than I understood when I went into it. Yeah. It's like, so getting the carpet up and then the cleaning of the floor you got to do before you start putting the tiles and stuff back in. And this is a farm. So like one of the days while I was out there, I'd gotten all the carpet up and I'm trying to clean the floor, but also some of the goats were having an issue. And so the goats, I had 2 baby goats in there with me, and the whole reason they're in there is I have to see them go to the bathroom. But I'm having to clean this floor, and so it's like counterproductive. Yeah. But we have to know we had to give them something to make them go, because they were like newborns and something was wrong. I can't remember now what.
Yeah.
But like, so it's like I'm cleaning the floor, but waiting for the livestock to also go to the bathroom on the same floor again, so I can clean it immediately before we get it ready. So this is when I got Gert. But Gert was living out there, and Gert got to come inside for the first time when I was there. She normally stayed outside. She was like a farm dog, and she was an extra dog. Like someone had got rid of her on the side of the road. Aww. And ended up at my aunt's because people just drop off the dogs there somehow, you know. But and I took a liking to Gert.
Was she a baby still then?
Yeah, I mean, like a 50-pound baby.
Yeah,
but she was like young. So we're gonna say she was 6 months.
Okay,
I really don't know, but she was young.
Yeah,
but still pretty big, big size, big young. But and she just. And once we let her inside, and I was sleeping on a couch there. That was like my bed while we were doing this. And I posted a picture on Facebook the other day from it. It's like, I was sharing that couch with every other animal that like wanted a place in that house was in there. So I had like 3 or 4 dogs, like chihuahuas, multiple cats, and then Gert sprawled out, taking up the other. And ever since that night, that dog has like followed me everywhere. And so when I left, like later that week or the next week, and my aunt there was already too many animals at the time.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, you know, if it works, I'll take Gert for like a week and we'll see if it works.
Yeah.
And I took her, and it's just, you know, it's Gert. I love her.
She's your Gert. Yeah.
She's my Gert.
She's your Gert. Yeah.
And so I've had her ever since then.
That's good.
She's been following me around and stealing couches.
But now she doesn't like you to sit on the couch with her.
No, she takes them.
She takes
she takes them.
Yeah.
Yeah. She expects it.
Yeah.
It's been an expectation since day one. I should have known.
But if you take up her space, like, I think you said she gets kind of...
She goes...
Yeah.
She's like,
got that old lady attitude.
Yeah.
We know about. All right. The next question I have for you, speaking of age, is we get a little more deep with the questions now.
Okay.
Okay. What advice do you have for young people?
Tips and advice.
For young people.
Mm-hmm. Like, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
What direction is this advice for?
Anything in life. Just like in general.
Anything?
In general.
One, I would say, if you have the opportunity to travel. Like, go someplace that is not where you've grown up your whole life at some point. Because it's so important to meet people that are different than you are, and meet them in their environment so that you understand how different everyone's perspectives, how different things are. Because if we only stay in one little area, we don't know that. We only see the world through our perspective, right? Mm-hmm. And it's very important to go out and see, just having the understanding that there are so many different perspectives, so many things that are complete truths that might look like an opposite from something else that's the truth, but they exist at the same time. And travel to me is the best way to. You can do books. If you can't travel, read books from people that are different than you are.
Because you have a very long reading list.
I like reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many books are on there now? Because you started as a summer reading list, but it's just continued.
Yeah. Well, it's a long list for people that don't read a lot. Because other people that read a lot, they probably have read this much in a year. And mine has been going on for 7 years now or something.
Yeah.
But it's 100 something.
Yeah.
Because I read in spurts.
Yeah.
I'll read 2 or 3 books in a row because I'm like, oh, I want to read it. And then, I'm working or life gets in the way. You can't always, reading
totally
takes
does.
time,
Yeah.
And so I have some books that are ones that I read in the mornings if I'm able to. I think that's a good way. Mm-hmm. If you can read a little in the morning and a little at night, that's nice. Life doesn't always let you do it, but when it does, I try to do that because it gets your mind focused. Find something that you want your mind to be kind of focused on.
Right. That's good. Do you have a list? Where could people find your list? Is it on your website or just random?
No, but
Facebook?
it should be.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about making that
idea.
a page
and
putting
great.
all the books there because people ask me every now and then.
Yeah.
And
let me tell you something about that too.
Okay.
Okay. Because anyway, again, another private talk. Sorry, guys. All right. Do you have a favorite word?
A favorite word?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite word.
Ooh, I don't know. Oh, that's hard.
I know.
That's hard. I don't know what my favorite word is right now.
Okay.
Maybe intention. I'm using intention.
I think that's a good one.
Intention.
Yeah, because that has a lot to do with what my focus is these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing everything purposeful. I mean, you kind of did that purposeful. With purpose and faith anyway. That's kind of your... It's your thing.
Been growing since then.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this last one. It's the last question. All right, so if you were a dog, what kind of dog would you be? And
probably a Gert.
Be a Gert. And if you could lick anyone in the world, who would it be? And when I say that, it could be taken so many ways.
I can't answer that. I can't. I had some things go through my head I can't say.
That's why it's such a good question. But, the idea is dogs, when they meet people, they sniff, they lick, that kind of thing. So that's what I mean by it, is like, if you're to
Who do I want to meet and
basically.
Lick? It's like my way of introducing myself.
Want to be friends with. I mean, imagine you're Gert. Social graces are out the window.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. This is hard.
I know.
Because my mind's already gone to the gutter.
To the gutter.
Like, it's... my mind went to the gutter, and I don't... I don't know how to come back from it at this point. I would lick you.
Oh. Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, we might conclude now. That's interesting.
Is that what you're going to ask everyone? Because you might get licked.
No. I'll kick someone, right?
I mean, you're lucky I stayed on the side.
Well, I wouldn't kick you, though, but, like...
Intrusive thoughts.
Some of the people I intend to interview might have to get
that's
kicked.
what I'm saying.
Well, I have to cut this part out.
If they make... if you see the eyes go... they start coming in, you go...
Well, see, I thought of... The reason this question came to light was because...
Breaking news. Politic and economy. No politics. Only humor.
President Biden said, he was going to say, let's go get him. But he said, let's go lick the world. And then
That's unfortunate.
I know.
Accident.
It was. But I was like, oh man, that's funny. It's funny. And it's kind of like, it kind of went along with the fact, all of us love dogs so much.
Yeah.
And then, my buddy, my buddy, randomly out of the blue sent me a logo.
Uh-huh.
And it's a pug flying around the world. I'm like, okay.
That's cute.
So this is the segment, go lick the world, so that's kind of how it came to be. But, yeah. But, some of us have gutter minds.
It's just in there right now.
That's okay. We're heading out to a gig tonight, so that's okay.
Well, I try to think of people that, I admire that I'd be excited to meet, but then I'm also imagining myself getting my chance to meet them, but licking them in that moment.
You've been at some fun parties where there's been some people that you have admiration for.
Yeah, so I'm imagining what they would do if I licked them. And I don't think it would be good.
Well, this is definitely metaphorical.
Because
you would be a dog in this situation. So you'd have that
if I was a dog and I could lick anyone.
Yes. So you'd have that as a cover. It wouldn't be Katie Martin coming up.
I feel the other reason I'm laughing so hard is I had a random flashback of a memory from this Halloween where I was my roommate's cat for the Halloween thing. But her cat would attack people, so that's what I would do. It wasn't necessarily a lick; it was like a bite.
Right.
But I would do it to people I didn't know at this party.
Nice. So you have experience with this.
I have experience with this. People don't like it.
Right.
So I was like, I'm down with this idea. I think this would be funny. Right. I would lick everybody. That's right. But I'm like, they don't like it when you do this.
All right. But no one specifically that you admire.
I have lots of people I admire.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's basically what the question is about. Who do you admire? I might have to have a separate set. Some people with gutter minds.
I can't say anything now.
And this is why I didn't want you and Leanne here at the same time.
Yeah, well, you should have a separate one where we do it.
Oh, yes, we will.
At the same time.
Because that will be unique and different and fun. I'll have to change the questions.
Change the questions, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who could we lick as a group?
I don't know. It gets weirder and weirder.
That's like an OnlyFans thing. That's like a...
Yeah.
like things... we can't do that and it'd be fun. People would be like, we would like to be the person
Right.
to do it. It's like, you're not supposed to like it. Like, it doesn't work if you want us to all lick you at the same
This
time.
is so different than what my intention to go. It's so different.
Well, we have to have a talk about intention before.
We do.
For your next person, be like,
Right.
the intention of the show is family friendly and
Yeah.
uplifting. I don't know if yours is supposed to be, but like,
It's your show now.
I'm saying what words I need to hear so that I rein myself in and say
Okay.
the right thing.
I don't think you said anything terrible.
This show is for children.
That's right. But we know it's not. Although all musicians are children, so which is probably who's most of them watch us. So, okay, so let me ask you this: which musician would you like to meet if you could meet anybody?
See, I thought you were going to say lick again. I was like, of course it's all going to be musicians I want to lick. I don't go around licking people. I wanted to say, I'm laughing because I'm with
She already said she bites.
I am actually family friendly like all the time. I just make lots of jokes. Inappropriate jokes sometimes. Okay, so it's just, I just want to meet them.
Just want to meet them.
I just want to meet them.
Just want to meet them.
You know, okay, here's one. I'm doing the Songwriters Festival that's in Opelika in like a month or two. And Katie Tunstall is playing it.
Nice.
And I saw her at 30A. And I just kind of...
Yeah. For sure.
I would be very excited. She's someone that was in my head after I was like, man, I would like to meet her.
I think that's
That
a
would
good
be
one.
cool. Or like Tosh Sultana, she's another looper.
Yeah. So now I can cut everything out from when I asked the question about Katie Tunstall. Boom. No, because you sent us a clip of her live, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good. I've loved her for a long time, too.
Mm-hmm.
I do her No, No, No song
Oh, yeah.
as a cover song.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play it tonight while we're doing our thing.
Sweet.
But I don't have any cool looping, but that'd be fun for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's another story. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to head off to the gig. And
we're going to lick people.
get this. Maybe we should just go up to people and see what they do. No, I think that'd be, especially with,
No.
Yeah, no. Anyway.
You'll get a lot of people that come the next week, though, once the
This
word
is
gets out.
true.
Like, Jeannie licks people. It started their
Hey,
set.
the good part would be that we would know that the era of COVID is over.
Yeah,
If people are excited about that now.
if they're excited. I did this thing. I know we're supposed to be ending.
That's
you can
okay.
cut this. This can
I
be
can
just
always
for
cut
you.
it. It's totally fine.
But when I was in this other band that I used to be in, there was a segment of the show where I'd go around and I would fill my hand with whipped cream and make people eat it out of my hand.
So you do have
So-
experience with
This is why I'm like, don't ask me this question. Don't set me up for this
What?
because I would do this.
Yeah.
I won't do it now because I've calmed down.
Yes.
And I know better. But my intrusive thoughts, like, they could put me right back there. I'd be like, that's funny though. I like making people uncomfortable.
If you were to create a new alter ego, that would be a fun thing to add.
That it licks people.
Maybe. No, with the whipped cream.
Oh, with the whipped cream.
Yeah. No, I don't think that. I think that probably just needs to be.
Yeah, I really don't want to go around licking people.
Yeah, no.
It's funny in my head. I have no desire.
Right.
Here's a little thing for people that don't know me that well. I don't want to touch people. So that's why this is
Okay.
all very funny. I will touch people if I know you and we're friends, and I will
Right.
give hugs to people.
Yeah.
Because I think touch is important, and I don't ever want someone to feel like I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But I am someone who normally keeps my distance, so I would not actually. I'm joking with all this. Do not think that I actually want to come up to you. Please don't find me in public and ask me to lick you, because I don't want to. I will get very, I'll be like, 5 foot distance. I've been enforcing. That's Gert's role at the open mics, was she keeps a distance.
No, that's always important too.
Yeah,
like,
she's
personal
like,
space. Personal space is good.
Yeah.
So, something we don't know is Katie needs her personal space.
Katie likes her personal space.
Right. I don't know. Is that the thing to end on? I don't know. It must be something else.
That's kind of rough.
Do I have any more questions on my phone? Where's your next show? Let's just end with that. That's a better one.
I'm playing at... Okay, I am playing at Cloverdale Theater in Montgomery.
And when is that?
This upcoming Saturday, March... I don't know what day it is.
23rd.
Okay.
Yeah. And are you doing sound bowls, or are you doing...
It's a Songwriters in the Round.
Oh, nice.
Type. It's a guitar pool.
Nice. Very nice.
It's down there, yeah.
Is it ticketed?
Yep. It's
All right.
$10 a ticket.
All right. So reach out to Katie. Although, honestly, by the time I edit this, it's going to be past. Where can we find your show schedule?
It should be on my website.
It will be on her website.
One day. If you follow me on Instagram, I post things on there. I'm really good about doing that.
That's right.
Instagram and Facebook, it shows up.
That's right. You are good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other things. But we're going to end there while it's safe. Bye.
Thanks for having me, Jeannie. Oh, okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I need to do it again.
I think it was me. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
To the frog.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I derailed.
There's edits. Oh my gosh, Katie, you're so funny.
We'll be right back after this brief commercial. Merch sale. Use coupon code FROG for $7 off one order total. Don't miss out. Shirts, hats, mugs and more. www.bellyofthefrog.com.
I hope you enjoyed Katie Martin and this episode of Party in the Frog. Definitely go follow her. Follow her on YouTube, find her music. She has a Patreon. If you can support her, that would be wonderful, because she puts out all kinds of wonderful sounds and videos, and she's traveling everywhere. Definitely a fun journey to share with Katie. So go check her out. And thanks again. I'll see you next week. Bye. Now let's take a tour of the frog with what's changed. Each week, I think I mentioned, I'm going to just do short little tours so you can see what's new in here. So enjoy this new little tour.
Let's tour the frog. What's new?
Subscribe if you can so that you don't miss an episode, and really enjoy your week. Make it a good one. See ya.
Let's recap. Party in the Frog, Frog Tunes, Fly on the Wall. 3 new shows, all originating from the belly of the frog. Sign up for our newsletter so you don't miss the buzz. Visit Linktree/Jeannie Caryn. Things to do. 1. Shop merch. 2. Download music. 3. Purchase HTRP books. 4. Join the newsletter. 5. Check the show schedule. 6. Follow me. Find all. Linktree.com/Jeannie Caryn.
Host and director, Jeannie Caryn. Producer and editor, Jeannie Caryn. Theme song, Like the Water, composer and performer, Jeannie Caryn. Go Lick the World segment artist, Buddy Finetti.
Credits. BFAX. WWF United Kingdom. Credits. Daily Motivation. Iron Maiden. At Ryan Holiday. Credits. All other clips supplied by guest and or royalty-free sites. Thank you. Merch sale. Use coupon code FROG for $7 off one order total. Don't miss out. Shirts, hats, mugs and more. www.bellyofthefrog.com